Hey guys, happy day after Thanksgiving. I was just thinking about traditions. I'm sleepy already. Um, Traditions. So we've got all these traditions, and in America we don't nearly have enough tradition. I think that's one thing about being the melting pot that we are, is that a lot of us, at least in sort of the liberal arts education type, like middle class or upper middle class, we're desperately looking for traditions in other cultures because we have lost our own traditions, which is so interesting. um, People are constantly turning towards Buddhism or Sufism or um, Hinduism or whatever. We're desperately looking for traditions. I know I was. But there's traditions that exist in every culture. We can certainly find them, and we can integrate different traditions from different cultures. It's a beautiful thing, right? But here's the thing, okay? When we just copy tradition, when we just copy it and we don't question it, this is one of the most harmful fucking things that exists on the planet. Is copying tradition and not examining it. Oh God, an unexamined belief, an unexamined tradition. These things deserve to be annihilated on a small scale, and I can even say on a large scale. If people are really, oh God, I don't want to start talking about calling people stupid, but we must use and teach. I guess the real religion in white culture is the scientific method. This is our religion. This is my religion. My religion is what gets results. What can I test and what gets results? I'm a scientist first, and I'm everything else second. And um, and when I say Western culture, right? It doesn't have to be white culture. White culture is Western culture. In the schools, we're not operating from Native American culture. We're not operating from South American culture. We're operating from European white culture. That's evolved. Given it's evolved quite a bit. Um, but anyway, scientific method is my religion, um, more than any other religion or tradition or belief. And we've got to get on the page of examining our traditions, examining our beliefs, and around anything and everything, around gender, around sex, around race, around food. Food is a big one. Um, Around medicine and medical care. Um, we have beliefs that are handed down from our parents. We have beliefs that are handed down from the television, and we have beliefs that come from school, from our school books. For every school book that's written, some of it's correct and some of it's false. There's no book that's nonfiction that has 100% accurate information. It's not possible for one person to hold 100% accurate information. So it's all opinions. It's all takes. It's all just. There's no real nonfiction. Very very little of it that exists. So we're constantly being bombarded with by ideas and information, traditions and beliefs, and it's very easy to just hold on to the ones we were given when we were little and say that everyone else's is wrong. But truly, an unexamined belief and an unexamined tradition is worthy of death. And I think as people, those of us who are unwilling to examine our beliefs will be phased out. Will be phased out unless we have such a totalitarian state that it's encouraged to not question beliefs, and that's also totally possible. We're not that far away from our beautiful 1984 situation in which the few make the decisions and the traditions and the beliefs, and everyone else gobbles them up like Thanksgiving dinner. That's totally possible. But the movement that I want to be part of is the direct experiential examination of all beliefs and all traditions. My number one tradition that I hate and that I would like to obliterate from the planet is the tradition of genital cutting. So whether it's on little baby girls or little baby boys or 13-year-old boys in parts of Asia, I don't really care what age you are. If you're under 18, if you're under 21, and if you're under the age of 25, because it takes, we don't really mature. Our brains are not really ready to make crucial decisions until we're about 24, 25. If we can abstain from doing religious or scientific, in America it's supposed to be scientific genital cutting. It has nothing to do with Catholicism or Judaism. It's all about, this is what the doctor recommends. Well, fuck the AAP. And fuck the guy that runs it, that heads it up, that still won't make a stand. Europe has made a stand against circumcision. And, Germany even tried to outlaw it. And, of course, was accused of anti-Semitism. Which is, of course, the worst thing. It's the worst thing on the whole planet. If people call you an anti-Semite, basically you turn to stone and you can't move anymore. Well, fuck that. Fuck that. Circumcision is disgusting. So whether it's on girls or boys in Islam, or whether it's just on boys in Judaism, I don't give any fucks. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I think it's disgusting. I'll happily wear, whatever fucking label, because I find it to be totally, totally disgusting. It's something that originated in tribes that were basically blood-worshipping tribes, and they like to see blood, and they like to drink blood, and they like to play with blood. And we have a ton of those around the planet. We have a ton of those old cultures. The Aztecs and lots of different cultures have been obsessed with blood. Blood is very interesting. It's very powerful. It's very interesting. And I totally, I acknowledge the blood magic stuff. But the idea that we're going to cut on a baby, whether it's for scientific or religious reasons, is fucking disgusting. This is something that is supposed to release a bunch of power. And it's supposed to be cleansing, and it's supposed to prepare for manhood, and it's supposed to take away sexual feelings so that one masturbates less. That was Kellogg's thing. Kellogg wanted people to masturbate less, because masturbation was the worst thing that could possibly happen. So whether it's a trickle down from Victorian ideals, whether it's directly from Judaism and the warring blood tribes, whether it's a sort of Catholicism has usurped it in some countries. Because the Catholics will circumcise in America. The Catholics don't give a fuck about circumcising in South America or Mexico. They don't do it there. So with the Catholic Church, they will play any angle to the Catholics are very confusing. Somebody said the Catholics are coming out in favor of pardoning people after getting abortions now. It's a whole new world. But these Catholics, these people that are making decisions in the Catholic Church, they will just suck up to anybody. Well, global warming's real. Well, it's not real. Well, it's real. Abortions are bad, but they're forgivable. But they gave fucking Jennifer Lopez 3 different, they annulled 3 of her marriages. Bitch, you can't annul a marriage in the Catholic Church if you've already fucked somebody. And I know you've been fucking those husbands, but they do it because there's money involved. There's money and prestige. And it's great to have Jennifer Lopez be a Catholic. Oh, yay! For all the Mexicans, they could say Jennifer is a Catholic too. Well, fuck all that. Anyway, so an unexamined tradition is toxic. It's absolutely fucking poison. Poison upon the earth. So whether it's what we eat, by the way, this is a fur coat, and I bought this at Goodwill for $10 a few years back. It is very warm. And I do suggest that if you've ever, it doesn't really fit me very well. It's huge. But I love it, and it keeps me warm. I wear it day and night in the wintertime. And it's like I love it. I literally, but I would never buy a fur coat. In the store, I would never support, China ripping the fur off of the live animals. But if I could find one in a Goodwill, used fur, yeah, that I will buy for $10. And then wear the hell out of it. So, some vegans would not buy this for $10 at Goodwill, but I'm more of a scavenger than I am anything else. I'm more of a freegan, and this was close enough to free that I had to have it. Anyway, the fuck were we talking about? unexamined beliefs. So the people that want to be, up their mommy, daddy, the news, the school, the books that they've been given to ask, right? There's a fine trajectory for their future. And that is either into a totalitarian regime or death or just total patheticness. For the people that are willing to engage the scientific method, that are willing to be lifelong learners, right? That are willing to experience things, feel things deeply, and then make their decisions from that, I believe that we will inherit the earth. And that is my community. So if you want to have discussion, if you want to talk about different subjects, if you want to get out of the, get away from towing the line, right? Towing other people's lines. I think it's a fishing term. You tow the line, the party line. Tow the party line. I don't have a fucking party. I have me, and I have my own, my system of finding out what I believe. Anyway, so I believe that we can, the thinkers, the real people that are willing to question and willing to re-examine, that we will hopefully be taking over the earth. And hopefully just spreading the ability to think, spreading the scientific method, spreading, experiential consciousness. And there's no reason why we have to mass exterminate people that are stupid. We can just make them unstupid. That would be the goal. That would be the goal. But we need to wake up just as soon as possible, because there are people that would take our mind. There's reasons why fluoride is pumped into our water. There's reasons why the major news networks are all owned by the same 6 people, and I'm talking about online as well. There's reasons why life just seems so difficult to get new information, and why, when we go to school, a lot of school, public school is really, it's more like Pavlovian learning. It's more like ringing the bell and teaching people how to be domesticated, which is fine, but we want to be able to think on our feet. Anyway, so that's my expulsion for the day. Yeah, if we have traditions and beliefs that we refuse to examine, we need to look at that. Why are we not able to examine them? And why it's like, well, that's just the way we do things. That's just the way we do things. Those people that say that's just the way we do things, that's the plague. That's the plague that we need to get rid of. And it's not one group of people. It's the mindset of that's just the way we do things. That's just who I am, or that's just not who I am, or that's just what we do. That is incredibly dangerous. It's incredibly dangerous. We need to be able to take in new information and try things. If you try a high fruit vegan lifestyle, like a high carb, high fruit vegan lifestyle, and it truly, truly, truly does not work for you where you're at, that's one thing. But people that make a kale salad and, have this incredible, they eat kale and avocados and no carbs and drink a bunch of coffee for a couple weeks and say that they tried the vegan diet. You tried a vegan diet. You didn't try the vegan diet. You didn't try something that was going to, be good for your physiology. And so if that person then goes around, this happens all the time, if they go around and say, well, the vegan diet didn't work for me. Keep trying different things, asshole. Please. Please. And the last thing you want to do is try one thing and then go spout your goddamn opinion about it. Why are we not looking towards, older, awesome people for our opinions? And even then you can't completely trust an old person either. Because it's, for every old person you find, most of them are still going to be, they're going to be somewhat crusty. But if you can find someone who's a lifelong learner who's old, man, that is like the pot at the end of the rainbow. If you can find someone who's a lifelong learner and a philosopher and, they're open to new thought and they're old, so they have experience and the openness, forget about it. These are the jewels upon the earth. People that have open mind and are willing to change, willing to examine their beliefs, willing to try new things, and they have life experience. Those are the motherfuckers you wanna rally behind and you wanna learn from. All right, I'm gonna cut this down. Bye, guys. Have a great day.